young or the youth, right? So today we're going to learn about a new topic from this chapter, and that is youth in Nazi Germany. Alright? So we've talked about what is Nazism, the Nazi party that came into power in Germany, and one powerful leader in the Nazi party was Adolf Hitler. And when you talk about a racist regime, political regime like the Nazi party, who was very racist in their rule, people like Nelson Mandela, who actually stood against racism, who actually stood for the equality and freedom of the people. So the codes and the ideas of such people like Nelson Mandela becomes important, right? So we looked at how Nelson Mandela viewed education. Now we all know, we've heard about education, we've learned a lot about education, we hear the word a lot. So I want you to divide into groups by benches, okay? And you have to write down, you have to discuss, and you can write down any 2 points why you think education is important for the individual as well as for the nation. Okay? You can write 1 point why it is important for the individual and 1 point why it is important for the nation. You can discuss and you can write 2 points. I'll give you 2 minutes. How providing a good education benefits an individual and how it benefits the nation. Just 2 points. Is it over? Okay, shall we listen some points that you've written? Yeah, the first one. Tell me 1 point why education is important for the individual. Overall development of the person. Okay, overall development of one's personality. Very good. Next.
For the development of the nation.
For the development of the nation.
In India, there is demographic dividend. That means youth is mortality order. So for everybody, education make youth to be development and nation.
Okay, so developing a good youth, a good population, so that the nation as a whole can be developed. Okay, next one. Why do you think education is important for the nation? Anyone? Stand up and tell me. Okay, to develop the country socially, politically, religiously, culturally, develop a nation. Very good. Sit down. Next. Why do you think it is important for the individual? One of you stand up. It's okay, even if it goes wrong. Okay, making right decision, wise decisions. Very good. Good. Okay. One. How do you think it will benefit a nation? Good citizenship. Okay, very good. So you've all given your points, and it is all true. Okay, and you can say an education benefits an individual and the nation. We can develop our creativity, we can develop our talents, we can be open-minded citizens in the nation, right? And then when you look about how it develops a nation, it can help in research, it can help in new ideas. We see society is evolving, and when So the education that we get today will develop the nation tomorrow. Is there any doubt about it? So, considering that in mind, let us see how education was in the Nazi Germany. How did education, how was education used in the Nazi Germany? Alright, so for that, to know how education system was in Nazi Germany, I want one of you to be a reporter here. Okay? Who can volunteer to be a reporter? I'll give you the material you have to read out. Give me this. What's your name? So I will read out what the education system was in the Nazi Germany. Hello, this is Aarti, reporting live from Channel 4 News. Today, we are going to look at the German dictators' interest particularly in the youth of the country. It seems that the Nazi regime has chosen education as a tool to spread their ideology. The schools are said to be cleansed and purified by certainty segregating disciplines into good German kids and the undesirable Jews, handicaps, and gypsies who are thrown out. Many Jewish teachers have also been found politically unreliable and dismissed from across the schools. Various steps are taken by the Nazi government to spread their ideologies like rewriting their textbooks, introducing racial sciences, popularizing stereotypes about Jews, introducing sports that is believed to nurture spirit of violence and aggression. The good German kids are expected to be loyal and submissive, hate Jews, and worship Hitler. Okay, good. So I think has told us how the situation of education in Nazi Germany was. We have agreed that education is a powerful tool to develop the nation. But in Nazi Germany, education was used to spread the Nazi ideology. And now, what was the Nazi ideology like? They spread racism. On one end, there was good Germans, the pure-blooded good Germans, the Aryan Germans, and on the other end, there were undesirables. The Jewish people or the gypsies who traveled from one place to the other. So these people were considered undesirables, not worthy of living at all. Okay, so that is the racism we're talking about in the Nazi Germany. So Hitler and the Nazi regime, they looked forward to purify and cleanse the schools by throwing out all the Jewish people, the gypsies, the blacks, or any other inferior people away from the schools. And when you look at the the Jewish teachers were seen politically unreliable. You could not rely or you could not trust the Jewish teachers. That is what the Nazi regime believed. So they all spread hatred, they spread violence. They were preparing their youth in such a way to be aggressive, to be violent, to have hatred against whom? The Jewish people or the undesirables. They were called as what? The undesirables. Alright? Okay. So now, Nazi schooling wanted to create good Germans who were very loyal, who were very submissive, who submitted themselves to whom? Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. So for that, they spread a lot of, they had a lot of activities in their mind. First was rewriting the textbook. You all know for education we depend on textbooks, right? We read textbooks. Knowingly or unknowingly, what we read enters our mind. Is it true? Yeah. And textbooks were rewritten, spreading the Nazi ideology or the racist mentality. And racial science. Racial science, which popularized that the Germans were racially superior caste and the Jewish people were inferior. So to prove that, racial science was also introduced as a subject. And then we see sports. We all know sports is a very important medium in education to make us physically active, right? But here, sports like boxing were introduced. Why? To make the children more masculine, to make them more iron-hearted, to have to instill a violent attitude in them. Okay, and they were preparing the youth for any war that might occur next. Okay, and stereotypes. Talking about stereotypes, stereotypes are any established, I mean, it may not be true, but any established facts about a thing, unestablished facts about a thing or a person. It might be certain false beliefs that you have about a person or a thing. That are stereotypes. So stereotypes about Jews were also popularized, saying that Jewish people were responsible for German defeat in World War One. Okay, that was popular. The idea that Jewish people or undesirables were responsible for the defeat of German people in World War One. So these ideas, can you think of any other stereotypes that you find in your society around you? Can you think of any stereotypes you might have about a person or a thing that you will find around in your society? It may be false, but some people are stereotyped in that way. Yes, you can attempt. Tribals, how are they stereotyped? Any other stereotypes that you can think? Think in terms of gender. Transgenders, okay, how are they stereotyped? It's okay, you can say what you can say. Totally isolated. Okay.
There is a stereotype that boys cannot wear pink.
Yeah, there is a stereotype that boys prefer color blue or green. There is a stereotype that girls would love or would only wear pink or red colored shades, or women are weak. Okay, so all of this are stereotypes that you find in the society. There are a lot of it. If you check in detail, there will be a lot of stereotypes that you, and men don't cry, right? All of these stereotypes you can find around in the society. So next, for spreading these ideologies, now the children of Nazi Germany were included in certain Nazi youth groups. Okay, now for that, I'll review these four programs. Please first one read out what is written aloud.
All boys and girls were by joined in Nazi youth group. They learned to worship God, glorify violence, hate democracy, and the undesirable.
Quiet, please. Did you hear what she read? One second.
All boys and girls were by those to join a Nazi youth group. They learned to worship God, glorify violence, hate democracy, and the undesirable.
Okay, good. Sit down. So all boys and girls they had to join a Nazi youth group. Okay? And there they were taught how to glorify God, how to love God, how to hate democracy, how to not give equality of freedom to the undesirables. That is how they were trained, militarily trained. And the second one, who got the second? Please.
All boys, all 10 years, all joined then work. Then teacher.
Sit down. All boys over the 10 years, they were to join a group called as Young Work. Okay? So that is the association of the group that they had to join. Young Work. Okay? And the next one, third.
At 14, we graduated to leave the loop.
Okay, sit. At 14, they graduated to another group that is Hitler Youth. And fourth.
At 18, they joined labor service. They had to serve government for 6 months under the public works program.
Okay, sit down. At 18, so you see how the life of a Nazi boy went. Over the 10 years old, they had to join Jamborg. And at 14, they had to join another group, that is Hitler Youth. And at 18, they had to serve the Nazi government by engaging in the public works program, okay, or serving in the military. That is how the life of a Nazi youth boy went. Okay, so is it clear to you what we learned today? Okay. So we talked today about the youth in Nazi Germany. We looked at how important education is, and we looked at the youth, how the youth of Nazi Germany were educated, and the groups that were present in the Nazi Germany. All right. So I'll give you a certain a worksheet, so you can do it in groups because I don't expect these many children. So you can do it in groups and you can solve. The next one. The next one. Is it over? Can we discuss? The first one, read out the question.
Education was seen as a tool to spread Nazi ideology.
Okay. Education was seen as a tool to spread the Nazi ideology. What's the answer? True. Is it true or false? True. Good. And next one. Good Germans were seen politically unreliable. True or false? Think again. False. Then what is the answer? Who was seen as politically unreliable? Jewish whom? Jewish students or teachers? Teachers. Jewish teachers were seen as politically unreliable. Okay. The next.
All boys over 10 years old join the work.
All boys over 10 years old join jungle. True or false?
True.
True because it's voice. Okay, good. Next. Wait, it's okay.
Children were taught to love and care for Jews.
Children were taught to love and care for Jews in Nazi Germany. So there's a doubt if it's true or false. False. Okay. And next.
Education, racial awareness began in Nazi schools.
Education and racial awareness began in Nazi schools. True. Very good. Okay, so I hope it is all clear to you what we learned today. You can give me back the worksheets. And I have a small work for you, which you will have to go home and do it. Okay? Imagine you are the leader of a party, an XYZ party. Okay? You are the leader, just like Adolf Hitler, of a party XYZ. And now you have to write down 10 ideologies that your party would like to follow. As the leader of XYZ party, what would you want the party to follow? What are the ideologies that you would like to follow? Okay, so I want you to write it down. The homework for today, you are the founder of XYZ party. Make a list of ideologies that your party would like to follow. Okay? So that's it. I hope everything is clear that we've learned today. Okay, so thank you all.
ലൈവ് ആക്കണോ? പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനോ? എനിക്ക് അറിയില്ല, നോക്കാം ചിലപ്പോൾ. ലൈവ് അങ്ങനെ സേവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
അറിയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സ്പേസ് ഇല്ലാത്ത ലൈവാക്കി